Hello, everyone. This is Brandon. I'm visiting with today and met Sierra for the first time. Hi, Sierra.
Hi, guys.
And so what we're doing is a quick little lesson with Augie. And Sierra and I rode together this morning, did some work with Mystery. I brought him back, and we kind of have made a transition with him. And went across the river, did a bunch, I don't know, we probably rode a couple hours all together.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to just work with Augie a little bit. And this probably won't take long, but I should point out to everybody to begin with here. Oh, big guy. All the members got together and got a halter for Augie. And it says Aussie's Golden Echo, a.k.a. Augie, in loving memory, Granny Annie. And Justin's Annie, 1991 to 2018. So that was his grandmother that died this not too recent past in the spring. So we all of the members had gotten together, a bit large group of them, and purchased this for Augie. So he's sporting that today, and we'll let him do that. We'll pull him out of here with it. In the meantime, we're going to start some meaningful work with him, and meaningful work for the type of work we do in the round corral like this. We normally don't have the halter on them because I want them to be as natural as possible, and it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit, and he's coming into me, which is great, but a little bit of this togetherness is what you want, but too much of it when they get pushy is detrimental and can be dangerous. I mean, these guys can hurt you, they can hurt someone smaller like you, they can hurt you just as easily as they can with me. See, look at how he's pushing me. There's 4 aggressive things that a horse will do. That's the second one. First is they will push, and they will push with their head, and that push is, we think it's them loving on us, or rubbing up against us, and if they like us, recognize it for what it is. It's not that. They're pushing you. So you have a push, bite with these teeth, a strike with the front end, or a kick with the hinds. Now you'll notice when I pushed him away, that his behavior is such that he's going to push me back. That's why he turned his hind end into me.
Oh, yeah.
You notice that right away.
Yeah.
So we've got some work to do on him in the form of getting him to have some manners, and it's some basic herd type manners. He's not going to pull this on his mother. Actually, he can, and she'll allow it to happen, but mamas are like that with the babies. They let them get away with murder.
Definitely.
Yeah, so other horses in a herd, he will try to run them because mama can, and so he naturally takes her dominance for himself and establishes that. Well, we're part of the herd, so we want to stop that. What I'm going to do is we're just going to work him a little bit in the round corral here. We're going to try to establish who's really the dominant person or the herd owner here. Now, we've got about a 45-foot round corral, which if you've watched previous, it's not my favorite. A smaller one, about a 30-foot round corral is just right for optimum use for me to not have to work very hard. And for, oh my God, Kelly's bringing her new boots. Unlike them. We're on. We're on. So Kelly's going to join us. She's not mic'd up, but she's going to be next to Sierra, so we'll be able to talk a little bit and converse as we do this. But we're just talking about Augie's real pushy. It's subtle. You don't notice it. You think, oh, he's just wanting to love on me or wanting me to scratch him, and it's not. You have to recognize this for what it is. And we're going to have to probably, chances are, I hope not, but chances are we may have to get rough with him just as another horse would in the herd. So a smaller corral, that 30-foot round corral is just right, I found over the years, for working an average size saddle horse. A draft horse, I've worked them in a 30-foot round corral, and it's too small. You need about a 45-foot. I've also worked small Shetlands, little guys, little tiny ponies like these guys over here, even smaller, in a 30-foot round corral, and it was too big. So it's all about, look, you can see how he's pushing me. It's all about the size relationship and how they can move. So he's pushing me. This is what you're seeing when you see active pushing. This is it. Now watch what happens when I push him away.
But
He's gonna turn away, but he's a little distracted. But before, it was a classic where he turned his butt to me and stuck it to me. So I'm going to do some round corral work. We're going to establish dominance, because what does a dominant horse do in the herd? They make the other horses move away. So I'm going to make him move. I'm not hitting him with this, but I'm just putting some pressure on, and he's not liking it. Look at that nose come up. See that defiance? Look at that, swinging that nose.
He wants to kick.
He does want to kick.
Now I'm popping that whip, and he's not liking it. See how he's resisting? Look at that hind end come up. He's wanting to kick at it. So I'm going to touch him with it. I'm going to move him. Look at that. He does not like that.
Look at his ears.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to move him a little faster. The only way I can really push him hard is to push him like another horse would. Come on, there we go.
He's stubborn.
He does not like this at all. There he goes. There, look at that. Now, didn't touch him with it, but he was starting to kick. There we go. Now I am finally dominant. Notice how he was trying to dominate me with resistance. But he's saying, no, you can't make me do what I don't want to do. Well, yeah, I can. There we go. Good. Oh, he's got a really nice walk on him.
I see that.
And all this is just absolute driving him away. This is simple stuff, what another horse would do. Ooh. Now I take the pressure off, and he's going to stop. Good boy. Now look at his eyes, the blink, blink, blink. Open. He's going to be big blinks. He was chewing. He wasn't licking yet, but he's thinking about this.
He's looking away.
Looking away. Absolutely. Oh, drop that head. That's a good sign. Good boy. Now he's looking over. It's like, what in the world just happened? This is not right. So this is when they're going to start to get resistive, right? Because now he's going to fight back. And this is where we're at. The subtle pushing in his mind, a subtle push is just as powerful, if not more powerful, than a real blatant push. Because if I can get you to move by doing this, how much energy did I put into that? You are so tuned in to what I want, you're going to do it. Absolutely. 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 So the whole idea is I'm going to turn him, and I want him to turn towards me if I can, and go the other direction.
Get more. It's the biggest.
Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm going to just drive him off.
He tried.
Look at that nose come up. He is just absolutely defiant. It can be way, way worse, believe me. But he is not liking this. This is not part of his color wheel. Come on. There we go. See that little stutter step? He was positioning that hind end to kick. See that flip of that tail? He's telling me no. He doesn't have to. Yeah, and again,
You learn it's easier to do it, right, than to not do it.
yes, exactly right. And that's all we're doing is we're driving him because I'm increasing pressure. Now I'm starting to take the pressure and reduce it, but he's still moving. When he slows down, I increase the pressure. Good boy.
He's good at snapping that.
And I've not whipped him.
You can practice that.
I've not whipped him. I've not hurt him. I did put that whip on him like, look at that. Now when he does that, that's like he's going to kick me. Just see he's throwing that. They put that hind end out there to kick. When he does that, I can kick back. Or I can kick first. I want to stop that behavior when he's thinking about it, or before he actually, between the time he thinks about it and the time he actually does it. So that I change his thinking. I don't have to correct his behavior. But if he kicks at me, hey, I can kick at him, because another horse would do that. Now you'll notice, this is why I like a little bit shorter corral, smaller corral. He's going to cut across it, try to not work as hard, and I have to work harder. You can get much more subtle in here early on with a smaller corral, but it doesn't make it very usable for anything else you're doing. Yeah, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to stop him back up over here. Watch this. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Okay, so before, he's turned away from me. right? Now he's turning and looking at me, but look at his eyes. Blink, blink. He's chewing once in a while.
Relaxing.
He's relaxing. He's going to drop his head in here in a minute. He may even sigh. And let me help him. Sometimes when you sigh, they will sigh.
Now that left hind is cocked and lead, not cocked to relax.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point. He could spin away from me and take off.
What are you looking at, buddy?
That's why it's like awkwardly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and walk up to him, because now I don't want him to move away from me. I want him to come to me, but I want him to not push me. Good boy. He started to drop that head, which is a sign of submission, which is good. I'm going to come up. Good boy. Oh, yeah. He says, I don't know what you think you're doing, who you think you are,
I'm going to push you right
because
now.
I am the great Augie. Well, great Augie, your life is coming to an end as you know it. Otherwise, if we don't, you know, he's 900 pounds.
He's 15'2".
That's amazing yeah, he's going to be a tall, big horse. But a horse this size, he can kill you. So it is so important to be very, very diligent about not allowing them to push on you. Okay, now he's pushing into me. I will not let him rub on me. I can rub on him as much as I want. But the minute he rubs on me, that's no. He's not making the decision. I make the decision. This isn't bad. And I'm giving him a little bit more room, see if he's going to come in. Look what he's doing.
Wants to go back away.
He's standing there. He's not trying to come in. And that's what we're trying to solve the problem of him being pushy. The only way he can be pushy is if he invades my space.
Mm-hmm.
And this is excellent. He's smart. That's why he's pushy. He's learned the subtle nuances of being able to get what he wants by pushing people around. Now he can smell me. I'm okay with that. He's not pushing me. He's smelling me. That's fine. He's asking himself, who is this guy? All right? Look at that. Blank, blank. Okay. Good boy. All right. So what we do to one side of the horse, you've got to do to the other side of the horse. You got to train two sides of these horses. Their little noggins don't work like ours do. We need to experience everything on both sides of this brain through the eye that's on that side of the brain. Okay? Good boy. Good boy.
He's going to be a heck of a horse.
Yeah, we've got to be on top of this behavior, because if you're not now, you'll never control him. And in order to get control of him, we'll have to be very strong-handed with him. Very strong. See, he can nose me, he can smell me. That's fine. See, and I'll smell him. That's okay. Good. Smelling's fine. I'm all right with it. Now he's going to try to make a move. Don't you nibble on my hand. Good boy. Now what I want to do is I want to invade his space, but I want him to move out of it, because that's respectful of other horses in the herd. When you move up to them, the higher you are on the hierarchy, the more horses are going to move away from you, and that's what we want here. I want to invade his space a little bit, and I know that people watching probably say, well, that's not fair. Yeah, it is. That's why I'm the trainer and he's the horse. He's not going to ride me. I need to ride him. I have got to make sure that he keeps that respect. He gains it and keeps it. Look at his head now. It's not bad.
And I think it's important for people to know that it's not fear.
It's not fear. It's respect. That is a very good point. See, look at this. He's not pushing into me. He doesn't want to. He wants to turn around, but he's keeping that head over there. That's outstanding. Good job. Good boy. Now, going to do this again. And he doesn't know enough to move away from, or to unlock that hind end and move. There. He's not touching me, but there we go. Good. There you go. And get him started. We'll help him a little bit. There we go. Very good. Very good. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Now we're going. Now we're going. He's moving away from me. See, look at that. Turning that head around, and I'm not making any physical contact with him right now. I'm just invading his space. because he needs to be lower on the totem pole than me in this herd hierarchy, because right now we're a herd, just the two of us. Look at that. And see, now he's turning away to I don't exist. I don't see you. You're not there. So let's push him away. Let's send him away. Good boy. Good boy. Now look how resistant he was to move earlier. Now look how easy he moves. Hardly even pushing him. He's not sticking that nose out in defiance. Now he's starting a little bit, he picked it up. Good boy. Ooh. Ooh. I take the pressure off and he stops. Good boy. Look at that two big old blinks. He's going to drop his head here in a moment. Good boy. There's half of a sigh. He's going to drop his head. And these lessons don't have to go a long time. Sometimes the shorter they are, the more impact you make, because you make an impact with a certain point. You get on it, you calm down, and you walk away. You're done.
Definitely, you want to end on a great note.
Absolutely right.
Even if it's 5 minutes.
I've worked as little as 30 seconds in a round corral the first time I worked somebody because everything went well. Done. I've accomplished everything I wanted to in 30 minutes or 30 seconds. Done. Don't get greedy. And I'm horrible about being greedy. I want more and more and more and more out of them. So let's see if I can get him to stand. Good boy. Good boy. Don't put your face up here. You can stand here. Good. Now we'll do the same thing. I'm going to invade his space. I'm not touching him. There we go. Now I pushed him away a little bit. Good. Good boy. Keeping that. He wants so bad to straighten out. And this is not natural for them to do. Usually they'll walk away. So you can tell he's got a little bit of resistance here, but it's passive resistance. It's not.
That's better than before.
Better than active resistance, right? We want to just move him around. There we go. Now let's just start pushing him, making him walk away from me. Good job. It doesn't take much. It just has to be consistent, because every one of us, all three of us, we have got to do everything with the same consistency. And that means being super vigilant about, is he telling me no? If you have to ask yourself that question, then he is, right? If it is so obvious that he's not telling you no, great. But if there's a gut feeling, is he? Yes, he is. He's got some flies here that, yeah.
Good horseplay.
Yeah, buzzing him around. Okay, and then I'm working in here too. So this behavior is fly behavior, not. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Now, I know he's had some issues with leading and stuff. So let's try this. We may be so close to being there. Now look at this. He comes in. This is really good because he's not holding this against me. He's still got a wasp. Horsefly. One of the things that we want to make sure is so important is that if he was afraid of me, he wouldn't walk up here and come to me, right? That too is respect. I want to be around people I respect. We have a mutual respect. I respect his size. I respect his ability. I do not respect him as a herd leader because around me he is not. So let's see how he does on some simple groundwork. What he should do is come with me. And then when I stop, he should back up. And he's not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do just what another horse would do. And you'll notice I took the flat of my hand and I just pop him, give him some place to go.
I usually pop it.
Give him some direction. There you go. And this is much, much kinder than another horse would do. They would turn around and just weigh all heck out of him with the hind legs.
One morning I came out, he was 2 pastures down.
Oh, really?
With everyone else, and yeah.
Yep.
They got after him.
Okay. He's not super compliant. I'm kind of dragging him around, which is kind of typical of a colt. Oh, look at that. Oh, one time. See how smart he is? But he's not doing it fast enough. There. A little bit of resistance. He said, okay, I'll do it a little bit. And then you're going to have to make me work. That's okay. I'll make him work. His work was a lot harder than mine. But it doesn't take much. It's just about being very, very consistent about what we do. Good boy. That's a start. And I never even cued him until just right there. Good. Now I'm going to move him around. There you go. One. And this is only, I'm letting him go, if he wants to, away from me, but it's about me pushing him around. Good boy. Good boy. Look at him. He's moving. Yeah, I'm trying to be assertive and push him, but he's still moving. And it's really relatively easy.
I see him being really lazy with his legs. Like,
Yeah.
If I don't really have to.
Right. That's like passive resistance. Let's come around this way.
Yeah.
Come on. Step.
I just would lay down, like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't think he would just flop on the ground and not do anything.
Take a nap.
There we go. I want him to turn those hinds. There we go. That's better. And I'm going to just tickle him a little bit with this lead rope. There we go.
There you go.
Good boy. And look at that tail. He's not liking it. He's flipping it now and then. Good boy.
That was a really good disengage.
Good boy. Same way this way. And doing one side, we got to do the other. There we go. Come on. Give him the out. Let him take it. It is. I cannot tell you how important it is to get this respect and behavior in check and in control right now. It's a little late because now we're having to work on it a little, right? And that's, you know, he's to his way of thinking. You know, he's had a lot of people handling him because he's a colt and they're cute and he's flashy looking. So not everybody handles a horse the same way, and you cannot blame somebody for not making a horse stay absolutely in check or being respectful if they don't understand the horse behavior. So that's not all his fault, and that's typical when you have a bunch of people handling horses.
So do you want him to be vigilant always, or do you want, when you're done pushing him and giving energy to him, do you want him just to completely?
I want him to relax.
Okay.
Yep.
But listening, but still listening to
Yeah.
the next thing to do?
I want him attentive, but I don't want him trying to run away from me or like he's fearful, because he is not fearful. Hey, kid.
Their relaxing is their reward.
Yes,
Big thing.
that's exactly right. If they
Every
relax,
time they get to stop, it's
they
their
get to
reward.
stop, they get to relax. That is their reward. That's right.
My reward.
And that's for the most part, that's all of us. Yeah, but it's also in context, because there's sometimes when you're wanting a horse to stand still,
Yes.
their reward is they get to move. So it's the opposite, right? It's all about context. What are you asking this animal to do?
Which I worked on earlier today with Mystery.
Yes, that's
We wanted
right.
to just run off when we wanted to stand still. Ah.
Yeah, he wants to move. He's a good mover. Here we go. Good. Okay. Now let's try it again.
It's just telling me, watching how intentionally slow and
Yes.
reactive he is.
Dragging his toes and everything.
Yep. See how he's dragging us? That.
Oh, good.
Good.
That's
Good. Yeah, he's being very passive about his aggression, and you can see it. I'm having to drag him around, and we'll get better at this.
Yeah.
But again, look at, he's backing up. Ooh, come on. And I'm taking this hand, and I notice I'm making contact, and I'm kind of slapping his chest at the same time. So he's getting two cues.
He's still that lazy.
Okay. Now he's going to push into me, so now I'm going to get more aggressive.
There you go.
I'm not going to put up with that. Good boy. Now come with me. And notice when they'll pick a time to take a shot at you. Look at this.
Oh,
Come on.
it's a big mistake of.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I got all day.
Every trainer's words.
Yeah. Okay, see how he's backing or coming around? Let's back up. There you go, back. So he will try to push through by going around you. Another aggressive move. He's trying to feel us out. I'm put myself on his other side. Come on. Come on. There you go. There. Now he's moving away. That's good. Okay. Believe it or not, this is a lot of work. Look at that. He's just resistant. So, I'm moving around. I'm gonna move. And see what I'm doing is I'm pulling him. There we go. I'm leading him with a lot more speed. So I'm keeping tension on this rope. He's not getting away, and he's not trying to pull away from me. He's just using the extension of it. Ooh. Ooh. Good boy. Good boy. Now come with me. There, that's a little better. A little better. Not much, but it's a little. Take what you can get. It's all progressing in little tiny steps. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. See how he'll try to cheat me. Good boy. That's better. Now, he was a puss head about trying to cheat me. I didn't let him cheat. I pushed him and forced him to go. When he did that, I praised him for it. I'm not praising him for cheating. I'm praising him for the subsequent movement that I asked after the fact. Come on. Now let's have, look at that. See, slow again? So we have to work on that. There we go. That's better. Good boy. Why don't one of you guys come in and try the same thing and see, because they know that they can try different things with different people and get away with it. And all I have to do is get away with just a little bit, and they're good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna, is it okay if I start sending him?
You do what you want, yeah.
Cool.
Now, you're probably used to using a lunge line.
No.
Aren't you?
Not
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. It's all about context, because we're pulling him around trying to get him to move for us. So this is the tool we have.
Yes, and this is driving a direct rein.
Right. You're pulling, but you're driving him from behind and still keeping contact to make him pull. So when you pull on that rope, he knows that if I don't respond, I'm going to get a little bit of something from behind. That's good.
So I only got after him because he's stuck.
Because he stopped, that's right.
And he's stopping because he doesn't want to.
That's right.
And I'm just taking the hinds away.
Yep.
Disengage. And that was good. Tried on that.
Yes.
Now the other way.
Other way. Look at that.
This way's better.
Good job.
Much better this way. He's really trying, and I'm driving on that drive line behind his shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're still pulling that face forward, not to the side for the most part, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm asking for his head in because he's trying to go outward.
Right. That's right. No, it's exactly the right thing to do.
And that's because his buddies are over there.
That's part of it.
It's way better over here.
And they will use any excuse they can. Your buddies over there, you know, the phase of the moon is fill in the blank, you know. Yep. They will use every excuse they can to try to convince you that this is the reason. It's not me. It's just the way it is because the stars are aligned this way. Very good.
And the reason I stuck with that is because he was pulling against me.
Yes, he was.
Engaged, so
yes.
I waited until he released it.
Yes, that's good. Yes, I'm glad you explained that because I was going to after the fact. Good.
Well, and a lot of people don't understand why you're still doing it and doing it and doing it.
Until they relax and disengage. Yes. Then that's the relax. That's the reward. That's right.
And now he gets to stand here as a reward.
Yes. And look at him look at you.
Yeah.
It's like, who is this?
Yep. Now, is he normally, when you're like this, is he rubbing on you?
In the past, sure. When I get him, I kind of teach him that I do not appreciate that.
Okay. That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. And what else would you like me to do?
Go ahead and see if he can get him to lead and then
Okay.
stop, and so he doesn't run into you.
Back up. Okay.
Yep. Some of the very things that you've seen issues with, let's try to set it up to give him a chance to do it. But the training that we're providing him right now, he should be going, oh yeah, this is not what they want. So I might comply a little bit and then try to push back later, which is normal. There, at least he moved that shoulder away.
And he ran into my arm.
Yep, and so he's getting a little passive. There you go. Good, very good.
And I release, yeah, and I do it a little different. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Just a habit. So I block, if they're watching up there, so right there, I block with the elbow.
That's fine.
And I don't release until right there, when he's doing it on his own. Not
That's good.
On me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, you're just blocking with your elbow.
Yes.
You're shorter than I am.
Yeah.
I can block with my shoulder where it's at,
I
right?
cannot as
Yeah.
well.
So what he's doing mostly is, it's not ignorance, it's
Oh,
science.
not at all ignorance. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows,
exactly what you want.
and he does know what you
There.
want, but he also knows that he wants more.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really big pusher.
He is very
He
pushy.
really is. He wants to be lazy, not have to do anything.
Yes,
His biggest problem.
yes.
Let's try this. Why are you moving away from me?
And every lesson that you do with him after this, it's all about pressure and release, right?
Good boy. Yes, pressure and release is the main thing.
That's right. And that's all you're doing here.
And I hate to get after them and people have to know, but like you said, it's her behavior, and we're doing it a lot less. I only want to do it once and never have to do it again.
That's right.
So I'd rather get stern one time than
Yes.
multiple times.
You are being much more kind to them
Yes.
by being very structured and very definite about your movement.
Yes.
And what this communication, the signal you're sending is without question.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather do that once, twice, 3, 10 times than thousands of times over his lifetime running over the top of you.
Oh, yeah, and you'll be dead by then.
That's right, because they can hurt you. They can
Yeah.
kill you.
And you're nagging.
You're nagging.
And you're going to over-cue him, and then he'll ignore everything.
That's it.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
And that's the point from there,
Yeah.
is that they will ignore you because they know they don't have to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be able to get what I want. When you get on him and he starts eating grass, it's the same thing. One hard time.
Come
Look
on.
at that. He's much, much, much better. Good, very good. And we got to give him a little bit of a mulligan here too, because it is hot out. I don't know what the temperature is, but
It is hot.
it's hot.
Close to 90.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
He's already sweating.
they don't want to move. I understand that, but he's also being passive aggressive about it. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we've got probably the most of what we're going to do with him. You don't want to work him too much. Oh, there we go. That was
I
very
want to
good.
end on that because that is a perfect
Very
thing.
good. Very
Yes.
good. Very good point. So
Yes.
I think this is short. It's to the point. We've done actually quite a bit with him.
And he disengaged just
Yes.
now through a field.
He's still facing you. He's relaxed. Everything's
Yeah.
all happiness.
Definitely.
So I think that's what we want to do, is just end there,
Perfect.
build on that.
One quick thing, did you mention the halter?
We did. Yes, yes.
He showed it off and everything.
Yeah.
Very nice. Can we talk about his weight for a second?
Yeah, let's do it.
He's growing like a weed.
Yep.
And he was just getting hay with salt.
Yeah.
We put him on more hay, some alfalfa Timothy pellets with some senior mixed in and lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? And she says a sweet lick.
I said one of like AP 12 or Smart Life, because we had our vet. We had 2 vets that and a nutritionist that said that's really good for colts, just because colts need more nutrition. Period.
They do. I give them about everything you want.
Even more hay. I said, is he
Yeah.
eating all the hay? Yes. So definitely give him more hay.
I like to feed a growing animal and an animal in training
Yes.
to the point where they just don't quite clean it up.
That's what they always say. If they start to waste, then they are getting what they
Then they get what they need. Yeah, you don't need to waste a whole bunch of hay on them, but they do, and that'll change from day to day.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
absolutely.
The one thing that I don't like to give horses, heck, I don't even like giving my cows this, is a sweet feed,
Yeah.
molasses,
Right.
anything with the sugar
Mhm.
in it, because yes, it does help with some of the probiotics,
Yes.
and it helps keep the fauna and flora. But you know what? They get that enough in the natural sugars of a good, decent hay.
So how about just some alfalfa?
Yes.
We have grass hay now. How about some alfalfa Timothy pellets? Quite
Uh,
a decent amount.
that's fine.
You can eat?
That's fine.
That's what I
I'm
would say.
I'm-
More hay.
I am, yes, more hay. They need the roughage.
Yeah.
They have got to use that foregut and they've got to have the roughage in their system, and they use it. The one thing I'm not wild about are alfalfa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Minimize the alfalfa. A little bit is fine, but you put a horse on straight alfalfa, they get washy.
Mm-hmm.
When they don't make a complete road apple, it's washy, and that's not good for their system.
No.
Alfalfa is not good hay.
It's
I don't
so
care what.
strong.
Very, and it's not even good sheep feed. We use it a lot because guys can get a lot of tonnage off of it off their fields.
Oh, yeah.
You can put a lot of it away, but I feed my cows grass hay, no alfalfa.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of a winter, my cows look better than anybody else's around me because they're on grass hay.
So, also, a growing boy, it's better that he's a little light than heavy.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. You know, even in us, we talk about obesity, and you know, I'm not as active as I was at 25. My metabolism is not as high as it was at 25. I could eat 2 chickens at a sitting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I could eat a couple of steaks at a sitting, where I can't do that now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I could probably train myself to do that again, but you know, I'm gonna keep that stuff around with me at once too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't need that. And they're the same way. You know, they don't need to be obese. They need to be in good flesh. When they're showing the ribs like that, does not mean that they are malnourished.
Right.
He is not a malnourished horse. He's growing.
He really doesn't look bad. You just got to
No.
keep up with his
Yeah.
growing.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly. And you can let him get too heavy, and again, your question is just right about his size. And any horse, you want them to be fit without being fat and not too thin.
Mm-hmm.
They're very similar to us.
And look how comfortable he is now.
Yeah, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Notice he's not rubbing, he's not moving, he's content.
Completely calm.
If you walk close to him, he'll still be fine, and I'll bet you he'll start to move away.
He wants love.
Yeah.
Oh, don't fall for that.
He wants some pets.
But look,
And
he's
he can
not,
have some pets because he's being respectful.
not moving
No,
in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I'm fine with petting them when they're respectful.
That's right. They can have all the attention because I want to have personal contact with that horse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care whether you're an animal or human. We like to have personal contact. We like being touched by someone we like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just the way we're all wired. It's a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you're doing is you're building it, but it's on your terms.
Yeah.
And because you're not going to hurt him, he can hurt you, but he doesn't even know he's doing it.
No.
You know, it takes something for you, and you have to be purposeful to hurt him.
Well, and really, if you smack a horse, it really does not face them.
No, it does not.
Honestly, think about it.
No, you
They're
have to
way too
you set
big.
that with behavior
Yes.
change at the same time. That smacking is a herd behavior that we can't even come close to mimicking.
Yeah, they throw hooves.
Oh, they're
Been
nasty.
kicked, you know.
Yeah.
Possibly.
When
Yeah.
we can't walk the next day.
Well, and that's a good point to bring up for those that are watching, is that when we discipline a horse like this, it is not being mean to them. We are giving them structure, and we are giving them direction, just as an animal in a herd would. That's putting them in their place with a whole lot less pain behind it.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to put that in its context and what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you end up with a horse that is respectful. He's quiet. He's nice. He listens, and he'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's discipline. That's all that is.
Which is another reason to be ultra consistent, because we're not using the pain and the that another horse would.
Mhm.
So if they're going to actually respect us without us having to kick them in the head, we need to have the consistent
That's right.
respect.
That's right. Yeah, because if you let him now rub on you one time, we've undone everything we've done.
He's learned to
Plus, he knows that, hey, I can rub on you in spite of doing all this.
Mhm.
No,
It makes
this
it worse.
is a huge improvement, because even in the field, you can't go out there without him instantly rubbing on you.
Well, and he will do that again. I mean, it's a
He's
slow
gonna try
change.
it. Oh,
You
yeah.
bet he will. But make sure that you're using those tools
Mm-hmm.
to put him in his place, because he does have a place, and that is anywhere below you in the herd.
Yes, and that's the hard part with everybody grabbing him.
Yep.
If
It
that's
is.
going to be going on, then they really have to know that they need to be the boss.
It is, and it's something that's learned.
We have to start up the circumstances that doesn't keep happening.
Yeah.
mean,
That's right.
The first year was impossible.
Oh yeah, I'm
Because
sure.
he was a foal and everybody was attracted
Everybody
to him
wants
like
to see
a
the
magnet.
foal.
But at the same time, in that context, it's really good to have all kinds of people touching him
Oh,
because he becomes habituated to humans.
Desensitizing.
Desensitized.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Right.
But if those who go out in his pasture, there's only be a few of us who will
Oh, good.
behave every time.
Good. Okay, good. Okay.
And like Suzanne, and for the folks that are watching too, that one of the things I mentioned is that we all do things a little differently. We all have different barriers of tolerance, and if you have to ask yourself, is this horse being resistant? If you have to ask yourself that, yes, he is.
Yeah.
It may be
You
subtle
already know
enough.
the answer.
That's right. Because otherwise he is so compliant that he's doing everything you need.
Uh-huh.
Right. So never ever forget that. And these are lessons for any horse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I think he's done a really good job. You're doing a great job with him. It's remarkable because I worked with everybody. I worked with Taryn, worked with Kelly, working with Sierra. Sierra and I met this morning, and you see the differences, and you work with people. Everybody has their strength, and you're doing a really good job with him.
Oh, thank you.
Especially the release.
Mhm.
It's hard to get that release down and when to
You
let
have
go.
to be fast.
Yes.
People hold way too long.
Way too long, and then the horse doesn't know what to do.
No, you release when they're doing it bad again.
Right.
Yes.
That's exactly right. It's all about timing.
Mhm.
So good job.
Oh, thank you.
I think we're at this spot where we're done with him. I mean, we've actually gone probably a little longer than
Got a
normally would.
lot of progress today.
Well, we're talking this to death too.
Yeah, I think the trick is for us to keep it up on a regular basis.
Right.
We need to set up a schedule so that
Okay.
he's work done 4
Yeah.
times a week. at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, every other day would be really, really good.
You get half, I get half.
Yeah, and you know what?
Let's put it on the cow.
But you guys got to be consistent. And here's the beauty of this: if you're both consistent,
Mhm.
he will get even better than if it was just one of you working him.
Oh yeah, because then he's learning both of our
That's right.
brains, too.
That is right.
Yeah.
More hands is a better thing.
Yes.
In the
Oh,
end,
and
in
I'm
all
going to
honesty.
do it. I will do it as well. In fact, you're coming back in August for
Mhm.
the Brown Clinic.
Yep.
Guess who's going to be my partner?
Ah, good.
Good.
That'll be good. That'll be really good.
It'll really be fun.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. We're at the ground zero stage with Augie, kind of going back and rebuilding, but that's the normal way this is. This happens. So we'll stay tuned and
Remember March when he was looking
yes,
So there you go.
yeah, right out here.
This is not ground zero.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That was
I had to call him and say, what do I
that was an ugly one. So,
Yeah, okay.
but
He's good.
I see really good things happening here, and stay tuned, and we'll keep going. So,
Bye, guys.
bye everybody.
Thank you.